Hey, everybody. I forgot I clicked my intro off. No intro today. How's everybody doing? I was sitting here like, where's the music? Where's the music? Oh my gosh. And usually when the music plays, I go put my lipstick on. All right. No lipstick Wednesday. I'm going to have to go grab that. False start. False start. How's everybody doing? I'll tell you what, hit that like button. Everybody hit the like button, and I'll be right back. That was fast. That was fast. You'll just upload a song, Scully. Just like upload a song. I could have probably figured out a way to play it, but it's okay. A lot of people, yes, Blue Devil, we have to put our lips on, or else just, the makeup just does not come together, right? I was about to say something, and then I got squirreled. So today, there's so much. My head is spinning. With the reports came out, I have looked through them, and I have pulled out a few pieces, some information from the autopsy report. Not going to go through the whole autopsy report. I did something interesting, though. I looked at, so far I did Ethan and Xana, or Kaylee. I did Ethan and Kaylee. And I took the description of the length and width and that information about the possible knife that the medical examiner said matched. And yeah, I put it in Chat GPT and I said, create an image of a blade that are these dimensions. And it gave some. So I have that to share with you. I'm really still hooked on this timeline with Bethany and Dylan. It seems like one issue with the Kennedy Fitzgerald interview that we looked at yesterday. Every time I think about it or search for an article about it, I head down another branch of this case. Like, it's crazy. There's a lot connected to just that time frame, where supposedly Dylan and Bethany are leaving Kennedy Fitzgerald's house and walking home. So we're going to talk about all of those things today. Yesterday, I told you I put in a FOIA request for Kaylee McConkey's interview. Okay. And her interview is described in the book, in the Broken Plea book by Christopher Whitcomb. And that girl has lots of information. So I think I probably sent the FOIA to the wrong department. So I sent it to MPD, to the Moscow Police Department. But it is an Idaho State report interview. So what I found interesting is that within 1 hour of me submitting that FOIA request to the Moscow Police Department, they canceled it, or they closed it. They didn't cancel it. They closed it. And I can show you that. And they said, this doesn't exist. And I'm like, what do you mean it doesn't exist? What do you mean it doesn't exist? Yes, it does. So then I had to go find the report to prove that it exists. And I think I found it. I'm not sure. So might as well look at that first before we get into anything else. And I took a screenshot. I want to be transparent. I'm a newbie to these FOIAs. And I'm reaching out to the veterans of FOIA requests for some help. You know, I'm not too proud to ask for help when you need it. So here's what I got back. Right there. I think that's it. Yep. There it is. So there you go. It was closed. The record you asked for does not exist. Therefore, your request is being denied. There you go. So I was just surprised at how fast. 1 hour, less than an hour. They're like speed denying over there. I did not reach out to her yet, Mike. I did not. I've got 55 million things going on over here. I need to prioritize. I do want your comments on that video I sent you through email since you wanted to talk about it. Okay, G Bean, I have not watched it yet. I have not. But I will. Like I said, I gotta. It takes a lot to, like, as soon as I end my live, like, I'm already thinking about the next day. Like, okay, what am I going to do tomorrow? Like, because you got to stay up on top of everything and all of that. So yes, I sure will. Someone should make a video showing how to do FOIAs. Well, it really isn't that hard. I've done one before and had a positive response. You can. I filled out their document, their automatic document thing that they have. You fill it out, you put what you want. They knew what I wanted. They're just saying it doesn't exist. So let me see right now if I found, I wrote it on my notes. So it would have to be ISP report 16. And that's page 53. So I'm going to pull that up. And we'll see if this is the right one. You can help me see if this is the right one. And hello, Jeff, by the way. I think that's it. 16. Okay. Before we get into it, let me say hello to everybody. Is today Wednesday? I'm losing track of my days. It is Wednesday because we have a dinner date tonight. Every once in a while, I get together with, like once every few weeks, we go out to dinner with my brother-in-law just to catch up and say hi and stuff like that. So. Hey, G Bean, I said hello to you. Dago, hello. Hey, Michelle, Scully, Love and Other Habits. Jeff back under here, under his real name. All right. Witchy, hello. Witchy is not lying, you guys. If you want to be in any Discord, I think ours is really starting to like pump up. Jen has been linking everything in there, like all the hearings, all the documents. And then she did a summary. Like she just wrote out her notes of the Chris Holland interview last night. She graciously did that for us. And from what I didn't hear the very beginning of it. I was late getting in there, but looks like I probably didn't miss too much because everything I was thinking she had in her notes. So that was a really good job. Hey, Mike, Jenna, Jessie Lynn, all you mods, thanks for being here. Hi, Donna. It's good to see you green. 4MKXE. Hello, hello. Donna Salamander. Good to see you. And I think I saw Agape and Lady Speedwell. Hey, you guys, come on in. Mama's boy. Would be interesting to audit and be. I heard someone else say audit, that they need an audit. I think it was one, possibly. Yeah, they need an audit. See if they're charging all the same fees for duplicate docs that have already gone through redaction. Well, I know Jules and Logan. I don't know who else. They started that document. And I was happy to see it's not only for documenting it, but so that what you're saying doesn't happen and to help everybody. I obviously need help. All right, let's look at this. ISP 16. So this was November 18th, and that matches the date. Okay, so the date is correct. And this is Idaho State Police, and it's Lieutenant Caitlin and I. So who's I? James Millar. In the book, it doesn't say who the officers are. So the interview took place in a big long redaction, and Kaylee McConkey was interviewed at an elementary school, I believe it said in the book. So this big long redaction makes me think it would be the name of a place, and she was in Boise. So far I'm thinking this is her. And she's also graduated. She left the University of Idaho in May of 2021. So far this matches. She belonged to the sorority of Madison Mogan. Belonged to the sorority, and Madison Mogan was her best friend. She also says that in the book. And then she also knew the other victims. She said she had gone up to Moscow and seen all of them for homecoming. She knew Kaylee through Maddie, and she met Ethan through Xana. She did not know blank or blank as well. So that's Bethany or Dylan, and she had only met them a few times. So she does not know Bethany or Dylan that well. Okay, so she receives a FaceTime call from Maddie at like 1:50 a.m. And she needs to be the one that talks about Sophia Whitehead, the 6th bedroom, and hanging out with Bethany and Dylan after. So if I don't see those in here, then that's what's going to make me think maybe it's not her. So she's just like, this girl knew all the details of the night. So maybe I shouldn't say she didn't know Bethany and Dylan that well, because in the book, it said she saw them the Monday they went back to Dylan's house. Yep, right here. Since the homicides, blank and blank told blank a story about Mogan, Gonsalves, Kernodle, and the Winco thing. Since the homicides, I don't know if that blank is long enough for Dylan, but let me see. Oh, this is another thing. Okay, this matches Kaylee McConkey. She was told she believed by Gonsalves' sister. In the book, Kaylee McConkey says she spoke to Kaylee's sister. All right, so that matches. And it was all about the phone calls between Jack, and that's what this is. And she's the one where we saw the text messages in the book about, bro, what the fuck, and wake up. So here's what's missing, you guys. In the book, she names Jack Showalter's girlfriend, Megan Singh. In the book, What was the other big thing? She talks about the sixth bedroom, the spare bedroom, and she names somebody named Sophia Whitehead. All of that is missing from this written report here. But I'm happy to say, because I also thought maybe they denied it and said it didn't exist because it wasn't recorded. But right here, it says, for complete details, review audio recording of the interview. The audio recording was copied onto a flash drive and submitted into evidence under tag number item 1. So what I will do now, later, after I get off the live, is I will adjust my FOIA request. I will make sure I have all this information into it, and I will send it to the Idaho State Police. I'll probably do both. I'll probably just submit it to both unless I get some better feedback from somebody. I'm reading to see what you guys are saying. You're talking about investigating MPD. Yeah, for the FOIAs. Yes. For sure. We need to get links to some Google Drives that have the files. There is a Google Drive link in the, go to the Discord, go to Peep Files. Underneath that, it says Idaho 4. Click the Idaho 4, and I believe I put a Google Drive link in there last night. It's also pinned, so you might have to look at the top of, once you get into the Idaho 4 files, look at the pinned. It's pinned in there. So, because I was looking for that also, because I didn't want to sit there and download, like, there's 28 new documents. I didn't want to sit there and like save one at a time. That was a pain. Are the autopsies there and accessible by non-U.S. citizens? I don't know about the non-U.S. citizens. A Google Drive link you should be able to click on. I don't think Google cares where you're at. Once it gets saved into a Google Drive, now it's in a separate place. It's not connected back to the website anymore. It's downloaded. So you should be good. You should be safe to get it out of the drive. All right, so Kaylee McConkey, the file should exist. So we're going to go for round 2 with that battle. Let's see. I can see called and text numbers received and sent in our family call plan, but I can't see messages. Oh, you're welcome, Witchy. You're welcome. All right. I have just a few random things. Like I said, once I start looking for one thing, then you guys know how it is. Then you see something else and you're like, oh, this is important. I don't want to forget it. So let me just share a couple things that I have come across in the past few days. So while I was looking at Kaylee McConkey's file, report number 14 also stood out to me. So let's go up to report number 14. Welcome in, everybody. Again, just a reminder to please hit the like button on your way in. Let's see. There's over 100 people in here, 103 people. Let's try to match 103 likes. Even if you're just lurking, please hit the like button. That helps, I believe, to tell YouTube that, hey, people are watching, and share this with more people. Okay, let me see. It's not on the screen. There you go. Make it bigger. So this is from November 18th. And someone interviewed in Meridian, Idaho. Oh, this might be Kennedy. Is this Kennedy? Let me see. On November 18th at 1:16, this is Detective Beckner and Trooper Weinstein. And they interviewed somebody in Meridian, Idaho. This person takes online classes and lives in Boise, and she lived at 1122 King Road House the year before. So this person lived in the room that blank is currently in. Madison Mogan is the only one currently. We know that, currently living there. This is a person who also got FaceTimed by Maddie that night. So Madison FaceTimed a couple different people back in Boise that night. So one, I believe, was Kaylee McConkey, and then this is the other person. Mogan FaceTimed her that night, 12:40 a.m. They're at the club. It was a 40-second conversation. Mogan was with her friend blank. This person communicated with Mogan every day. Who is this? I think that was my question. It said the name is redacted. So if this isn't Kaylee McConkey, who else was back in Boise? Do you guys think? I'm drawing a blank on a name. Blank had moved into the 1122 King House this semester. Oh, she must be talking about Dylan here. Her boyfriend was blank, lived in Boise. So I think this line 10 right here is probably talking about Dylan. So I was looking for Kaylee McConkey. I read this one and I was like, is this her? And then I'm like, no, this doesn't have enough information. So I'm not sure who this person is. I'll see what you guys are saying. Hey, a new member, Stoner Podcast Media. Hello. Welcome to the Green Team. It's so great to have you.
Clock it! So I gotta say thank you. Clock it!
I just like to hear that little tune. Thank you so much. Put some peeps in the chat, you guys. A new peep member. All right, you guys are talking about the autopsy. We'll get into it. We need a redaction app for my phone, so when I get pulled over, it bleeps out. Mama's boy. Hi, Legal Swag. Oh, Witchy, you put the link in there? Hi, Christina. All right. So apparently, according to Chris Holland last night, he said that there is a photo of the DoorDash bag on the front step. I say I will believe it when I see it. I liked the interview last night. Just real quick to address that. I liked the interview. Good discussion. He shared some good information. I know we probably can't do this with these experts that are coming out to do these interviews, but you know what really is needed? I feel like a lot of us, like he even said to, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the gentleman's name. Who's the guy on the Custody Queens? It's at the tip of my tongue. He even said to him, "Oh, you're getting into the weeds. You're getting into the weeds on that one." Yeah, we've been in the weeds for 3 years. We know all the weeds. So there were some statements that Christopher Holland made that I'm like, Ron, thank you. Yes. I wanted to but I know you don't want to be disrespectful and rude. But there were some details that I thought should have Like I would have wanted to have asked more about that, but maybe we can get somebody on here to do that with. I don't. We know all the weeds. Hey mods, Jen, we need to start writing down all these funny sayings. Like maybe we could make t-shirts. We need contradictions, inconsistencies, and convolutedness. Like that's one of them, you know. We know all the weeds. Unique peeps, we know all the weeds. Oh, Wellington Oda. Hello. North Carolina Mountain Man. How are you today? I know. We're getting closer. I mean, at least things are coming out that are not on this like narrative. Oh, that's one of the things I was getting frustrated with all the experts. Like they're just all like the crime happened at 4:17 a.m. What evidence is there that the crime started at 4:17 a.m.? Bethany's words and Dylan's words. That's it. Bethany's words and Dylan's words. And I was listening to Lana from her episode last night about this. So she was like all up in my head this morning, but she said the same thing I have been thinking also. That beer pong table. Oh, well, on the 1112 camera, you can hear the beer pong table, followed by a whimper. I've listened to that audio and I don't really hear much at that time. If you want to compare those sounds to the 226 sound, 7 scream, and then the loud voices yelling and all that stuff. I went back last night and was listening because I'm like, let me compare. And as right before that scream, all the way up to like 4:17, you can just hear, to me, it sounds like the same guy. Like one of the voices has a distinct tone to me. And I hear that voice at different volumes throughout a couple hours. And I don't understand why they're sticking to that time, other than the 2 surviving witnesses saying that time. What do you got? You've got a random white car that drives by, but you can't see the person go into the house. Yeah, maybe I missed something. I'm not like slamming the interview or anything like that. The interview is great. I am not slamming anybody like that. I am just saying, like, me personally, when I'm listening to it, you know how it is. You have a personal response and you're like, oh man, wish we would say that. He said Xana and Ethan. Hi, Heather Mosher. Hello. He said Xana and Ethan killing started at 4:17, but he also said we have no idea when Maddie and Kaylee were killed or when the crime started. Yeah. And I think I listened back at the beginning of the interview, and he was talking about like that 2:00 time frame. So I'm sure he addressed it at different points. Someone said Donna. Let's see. I don't trust the audio at all, tampered with before any defense listened to it. Oh, yeah. Agree, because you can literally watch one of the girls walk out of the, forget what the timestamp is. I'll have to do a show on just that footage because I haven't really done that yet. I've watched it myself. But you could tell it literally speeds up. Like she walks, like it's like the door opens and it's and she's at the steps in like a nanosecond. And I'm like, your Ring camera doesn't automatically do that. Like somebody did that. But I think the footage is altered, but I still think it's real. I just think obviously they hid some of the sounds and all of that stuff. Absolutely, Jen. We have to listen to it all the way through. And I'm not an expert on that interview either. Yeah. All right. You guys were talking about the autopsy. So just going to address a few things because I don't want to go through the whole entire thing. It's horrible. It's horrible to see what was done. How do I get that off? How do I make this full screen? Fit to page? Nope. All right. So who am I on? I'm on Kaylee. One of the things I did want to look at was to see if that signature wound that they said matched Kaylee and Maddie, like, could we figure out from the description possibly, like, was it what kind of symbol it was? That's all I was interested in. And so the only thing I found is that on Kaylee, it says the lateral upper left arm has a 3-inch, so it's probably 3 inches long and 5/16 inch. When it says an incised wound, it's a like an incision, right? So it's long. And then it just tells you that it goes left to right. I'm trying to be as respectful as I can, but still trying to figure out what this could be. Left to right. And then, so it goes from her left upper arm and it goes from 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And I mean, we really can't tell anything from that. We can't tell anything from that. So that's one. And then the other one is, so I thought maybe these two wounds connect somehow because this other one is on the left elbow. Okay. Left elbow. And it says rectangular red contusion from the end of it. I don't know. Maybe it's just, is the symbol, you know what I'm seeing? Let me do this. I hate to trigger warning you guys. We're going to talk about wounds for a second, okay? Trigger a warning. I don't know what this would be, but let me see. I'm going to get out my projector for nothing that big, but okay. We like this one. We like the pinky. Okay. right? So from 8 to 2. So we've got a line going like that. So are one of the signature marks just something going like that on the upper arm? And then it doesn't say anything about the other one at the elbow. Let me see what it said about the elbow. Hi, Jura13. How you doing? Thank you for that donation at the end of the live yesterday. I appreciate you so much. We're just talking about the autopsy report for a few minutes. And, one of the things that I think is important when talking about a perpetrator is if there's a signature wound, what was the signature wound? Oh my goodness, Danielle is putting up some data for us. There are around 130 people watching, 53 likes. Please, if you're enjoying the show, hit the thumbs up button for me. I appreciate it greatly. Yeah, Michelle, back to the times. Yep. Hi, Yvette. All right. So what does the other one say? It said, oh, this is such a, I wish StreamYard would let us like go from screen to screen. Like it's too complicated. It's too complicated. I want that one. Too many clicks. Too many clicks. Whoops. All right. Let's see what it says about the elbow. The elbow, the wound track travels from the decedent's back to front. Left elbow, 7/16. So that's real little. 7/16. So it's like half of an inch. But it doesn't tell us the direction. It goes from the back to the front. Is it like a short half an inch little mark like that? Does it go around? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what this signature mark could be. So that's Kaylee. And then let's look at Maddie and see if we can get more information. And then I'll show you what I drew. I saw some of you guys saying something about stomach contents. Did it have stomach contents on here? I did not search this whole thing yet. This is, all right, here's Maddie. Again, I'm trying to not go too into it. I'm just looking at these signature wounds. Just the one on the arm. The other thing I thought was interesting that I saw in here is they measured each victim's hair. So they know, like, when we're talking about like the clumps of hair that were like in Ethan's hand or in Maddie and Kaylee's bed, they've measured the 4 victims' hair. So I'm pretty sure they ruled out it's not theirs. So let me get to, they break down the wounds by like, location of I'm looking for the extremities. Okay. Maybe, no. No, I don't want that. Again, I'm just not going to go graphic into this. Here we go. Upper extremities. Okay. So this says the lateral deltoid region of the left arm. It says angled. Okay, now remember when I drew, they said 8-2 on Kaylee's, and this says angled. That's an angle. Kaylee's was like 3 inches long. This one is 2 3/4 inches long. It's about the same length. That's about the same length. Are you guys following me? Right here. Angled right there. To right, front to back. Left to right and front to back. What is your, and we need to look this up. I'm going to do a Google. What is, or any medical people in the chat, what is lateral deltoid region of the left arm? I want to see a picture of that. Let me see what I get. Right here. Does it show me? It's the outer middle portion of the shoulder muscle. It sits directly over the shoulder joint. I need to see a picture. On your backside? They're not showing me a very good. Oh, up here. Oh, right there where you would put a shot. Okay. Yeah. Right here. If you can see me. Yeah, that makes sense. Where you would put a shot in your shoulder. Pictures are better. I know. Here, I'll show you guys. Can we just get bigger? Oh, no, I don't want Facebook. We don't want Facebook. Let me do this. Images. I know how to use Google. Right here. Open image in a new tab. There you go. That muscle. So they're saying front to back. So that would make sense. Like it could go like that. And one is diagonal. That's such a weird marking though. Like it's not an initial or something or a picture or I don't know. Was I not sharing? Sheesh. Now can you see it? Oh, I did share it. Thank you. All right. Hi, Mary Holt. Hello. Hey, kiss me. Court RN. Would that immobilize the arm? I don't know about that. I'm looking for, I don't know. It didn't seem very deep. Birdie shows it on his live. Oh, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I was just trying to figure out what this signature wound could be. So that was one about Maddie. Let me see what the second one says. Because there should be one towards the elbow. So that one's up on the shoulder. And then, wait, that's still talking about the same one. This one is left arm is an angled, incised wound, and hers is 4 inches. So Kaylee's was 3 inches. Maddie's is 4 inches. It's angled, and hers seems like wider. I'll just say that. They use a more disturbing word, but it says wider. Wow. So that says the deltoid region of the left arm. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. On the dorsal left forearm is a linear, smaller, incised wound with irregular edges and another contusion. That matches Kaylee. Kaylee said it was a rectangular, like something that left a rectangular mark and then a small incision. What would that be? So that sounds like, I'm just trying to figure out the two things that would have been. I don't know. Oh my God. I'm having a day. I'm not sharing my screen when I think I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, I mean, they could have described it better. I just think it would be important for the investigation to know if there's a signature left behind. That should be telling. You should be able to figure something out from that. The dorsal forearm. Yeah, I was only, hi Heather Mosher. Oh, I said hi. The two that stand out to me, this is what I'm thinking. Could be wrong, but this is what I'm thinking. And then I'll go on. I'm going to go on to something else. It appears that they both had a wound that went like this on the upper part of their arm. And then somewhere lower was like a shorter cut, like a 1/2 inch cut, and possibly going from front to back. So I'm thinking like that, but it doesn't say like how far away from each, like, is it something that looks like that? That doesn't look very good. Is it something that looks like, that? I don't know. I'm just, what could be a symbol? They also said, so like, if you got 8 to 2, and then you've got a smaller incision, but they both had some kind of rectangular, like bruise, like a rectangular shaped bruise near this one. Another coincidence? I don't know. The investigators didn't see it that way. I don't know. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing with that. Okay. Oh, for sure. Yeah, witchy. It might be just blood pooling, but they said a contusion was one of the words. They said contusion. Okay. Here is what is under my grill right now. All right. The contradiction between Bethany, Dylan, and Kennedy, right? And that time period. So I do have Bethany and Dylan's timelines written out, and I showed them yesterday. So the big contradiction is that Dylan says she's at Allie's house at let me see. Yeah, at 12:04. So at midnight. She says she gets to Sigma Chi at 10:30. 10:30. That matches what Kennedy says. Dylan says, I went to oh no, wait a minute. Kennedy says Dylan gets to her house at 10:30. So see, there's all these contradictions. The biggest one is that Dylan said that she took a Sobro ride home for her in Lakeland, right? We know that's the biggest contradiction. So I thought, let's go to Travis, the statement analysis person we've got over here on YouTube. And I want to hear what he has to say. Oh, no, that's our girl. Like, is he picking up on inconsistencies when Dylan and Bethany are talking about this time period of going home to 1122 King Road? Or is he picking up truthfulness? What is he picking up? Travis T. And he does have an interview with Bethany that he just dropped last night. So I did put that. I linked it on our community page. Please make sure you go over to Travis T. Logic and follow him. He needs like 21 more subscribers, you guys, to get to 1,000. I want to help him get to 1,000 because I love what he's doing. So we're going to go to, oh wait, let me get to his channel. And I know the mods will probably put his link in the chat, and we're going to go to good old Dylan's interview. It was interesting to me to listen to it again. But I wrote down, let me see the times. Do you remember the times? I only did Bethany's timestamps. All right.
Did she look at her phone? Well, no, she didn't say I looked at my phone. That would have been simple. She added in a caveat. I like look at my phone. Did she just scan over and just look at her phone real quick and just notice?
All right, let me find the time.
And then
All right, we're gonna hear her say it, and then we're gonna hear his analysis. My God, where did she say it?
Subject.
Where does he let her?
And
Oh, maybe this started right with it. Sorry, guys. Okay, here. Oh, this starts right off with it.
She started now. Excuse me.
2003.
I don't want to listen to all that.
Okay, so is that a
The Kai party, obviously, yes, we were drinking. I left to go to my friend's house.
when was that party?
Okay, so we're going to pause here and talk about this. So the investigator began with, I don't know the story. I don't even know what's there. He doesn't know anything. And he began with, so tell me what you know. It's a great way to start. It allowed Dylan, the subject, to begin where and when and how she wanted to. It afforded her the freedom to make that decision. So she could go a day, a day ago, she could go hours ago. And just for anyone who may not know, I mean, this is 4 years ago, but this was, so the 911 call happened at around noon, November.
I'm going to skip a little bit. I want to get to the part about the party.
Normal part of speech. They can be totally innocent. And by the way, speaking of innocence, I just want to talk about, but we have a rule that if she can't say it, we won't say it for her. Okay. So we have with she begins here with the filler. Now she might be nervous. She might.
Okay. So this is Travis T. Logic. He has listened. He's starting to listen to Dylan's first interview on November 13th, right after, the police show up to the scene and the witnesses go to the police station. This is the interview. We are right at the part on the screen where he has transcribed what is being said, and then he's analyzing it for different what's important to the person speaking. Are they hesitant? Are they direct? Are they seem to be nervous? Are they he looks at filler words and tries to interpret them and things like that. This is the part right here. She's saying she went to the Sigma Chi party and then she left to go to a different party. So I want to hear this part and hear what he has to say about it, because somebody's not telling the truth. What Dylan and Bethany and Lakeland have said do not match Kennedy Fitzgerald.
Be hesitating because she has so many places to begin. I mean, an infinite amount of points that she could begin. She could begin, like I said, 8 hours ago, 2 hours ago, 1 hour ago. It's up to her. But we do notice that she dropped we. So it seems like she was going to say, so we were all at the Sigma Chi party or something like that. But that's not what she said. Again, we're not going to interpret it. But the we was dropped. That indicates some sort of sensitivity. She just wanted to say there was a Sigma Chi party. So she dropped her and at least one or other people off of, out of the party, which is very interesting. So right away, we're kind of alerted that the party is sensitive. Now, maybe something really, maybe something happened there that's, doesn't mean she's guilty. I mean,
Think about that, you guys. So here's exactly what she said. Okay, so and then she stops. There was a Sigma Chi party. So like he's saying that's distancing herself from that. There was a Sigma Chi party. Obviously, yes, we were drinking. I left to go to my friend's house. So it appears Dylan was not at this Sigma Chi party for very long. I think maybe an hour. No, not even. There's a discrepancy here. I have to look at what time she says she left 1122, which I thought was around 10 p.m. and went to Sigma Chi, but then she gets to Kennedy Fitzgerald's house at 10:30. So I believe at the most she's probably at Sigma Chi for like a half an hour, probably.
She could still be innocent and something happened there, and that's why the dropping of the we. But we pay very close attention to pronouns. Pronouns are fundamental in statement analysis. They're fundamental, and the reason it's fundamental in statement analysis is because pronouns are fundamental in speech. We, even as toddlers, we understand pronouns even before we start speaking. We understand the concept of I and you and mom and dad and we. So we always pay very close attention to that and its uses in statements. So there was a Sigma Chi party. I don't know much about Sigma Chi personally. I want to know more about it. Again, I'm shedding all my knowledge, all my understanding, essentially, and just going to allow her to tell us. So then we have some interesting words here. Obviously, yes, we were drinking. Obviously, yes, are unnecessary words. We were drinking would be fine. Would be totally fine. Obviously could be her, could be the subject acknowledging that the investigator already knows this, right? Obviously, you know this already, we were drinking. But that's hard to support because the investigator said, I don't know the story. It seems like that's not it. Obviously, it is a indication, obviously, yes, is an indication that she is preempting a question about the party. What's that question? Well, the question would be from the investigator, were you guys drinking? And so we want to pay attention to, in statements like these, where the subject is showing their understanding and their acknowledgement and their sensitivity of the presence of the investigator. Number one. Number two is preempting questions. Okay, we would not expect that.
All right. I'm going to go to the next part that she says.
Friend's house. Know who she's talking about. But yeah, I left to go to my friend's house. We're not sure why. We're not sure was there tension here in the party. Did she, just as fast as she showed up here in the statement, did she leave physically? I mean, now one thing that's interesting is that there's no we left. So we were drinking, her and one or more other people, and then I left. So it tells us that she was drinking with others and then she left. So it would be easy to kind of draw connections here that her and one or more other people went to the Sigma Chi party. She would not say that. But then she left alone. So there's not we left. Okay, so we kind of have a change here. So we just want to pay attention to that. We want to understand why that happened. Another kind of little peculiarity here. All right, so we're going to go back and we're going to listen on.
I think I went there around like 10:30ish.
Last night or this morning?
Last night. And then,
Okay, the investigator, because she didn't specify when was the party, he goes back and asks, when was that party? All she said was, there was a Sigma Chi party. It was a good question here by the investigator, which denotes some thinking was happening here. Another filler. And then I think I went there around like 10:30ish. So we have a lot of caveats here. This timestamp has I think, like, ish. This is not a solid timestamp. So for anyone following this case, I just want to say we're going to pay attention to these timestamps. And I know a lot of people build their chronologies.
Okay, but that 10:30 time matches what Kennedy Fitzgerald said, I believe. She said one of the girls got there at 10:30 and one of them got there at 11:30. I can quickly pull that up. Right here. Right here.
Whoever passed this on to us thought. So, but showed up about when?
I want to say 10:30, I think.
Okay, now I got to go back and figure out who she's talking about, because I think you can tell if she says Bethany or Dylan.
So, but showed up about when? When did you first run into or any of the other gals or even Ethan who live in that house?
And we're at my home. They had gotten there, I think, around 11 p.m., 11:30 p.m., and we're there for a few hours before we walked home.
Okay.
They had walked.
So you
Yes.
and were there?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And they showed up together?
No, had showed up an hour prior to and had come.
So I believe it sounds like she's saying, oh my God, I cannot say their names. Dylan, not Bethany. Dylan arrived an hour before Bethany.
I'm not sure who she had arrived with.
Okay. So, but showed up about when?
I want to say 10:30, I think.
Okay. And where do you live? What's your actual address?
I live at Avenue.
Is there an apartment number to that?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So showed up about 10:30 and then showed up a little bit later?
Correct.
And you said that was about 11:30, right?
Correct.
Okay, so there we have arrival times. So Dylan, they're matching. Dylan's matching that on this one.
The timeline is kind of a beginning point. I think that would be a mistake. Again, if she can't say it, we're not going to say it. She is not committing to this time. Now, one thing that's interesting is she says, I think I went there. Okay. So again, she dropped the we. And then we were drinking, and then I left. So we have a we dropped, and then we came back, and then and now she's going back to I went there. So what's going on there? That's kind of interesting. One thing that's also interesting here is the words "I think I went there" are right in front of us here. So this might clue us in that she didn't go there. She thinks she went there. That's not the same as I went there. So why is she unsure about this though? Why not, around 10:30? That would be fine. Why all these caveats? Again, we're not sure. She's not really being specific. She's not like, sir, I had a lot to drink. I am really trying hard to remember. No, she's not saying that. So we're not going to say it for her. We're just not sure what's going on here. Okay. Investigator then, so she said 10:30, and then the investigator asked last night or this morning. And then she says last night. So that was good clarification. You talking about 10:30 this morning, or are you talking 10:30 last night? She says last night. Okay. So then she said, and then, okay. And then denotes a passage of time. All right. Passage of time. So in her mind, last time she was talking about where she was at, she left to go to her friend's house. Then the investigator talked about the party, about 10:30, and then, okay. So let's go back and let's keep listening.
I went to, and then me and my friend, and then and then we just all went to bed. It was the house we went to for a little bit, and then it was just me, who came home, and then later.
Okay.
She's a girl.
Okay. And are they all in the same place?
She has.
Okay.
Now I gotta.
Okay, so we're going to stop here and talk about it. Sorry, an ad popped up on my YouTube. I don't pay for YouTube. All right, let's get back here. All right, so we have a lot of redacted stuff. It was really hard to listen to all of this. I went to redacted, and then me and my friend redacted, and then redacted. We just all went to bed. Just a bunch of redacted stuff. She says, was the house we went for.
Wait a minute. This might be important. So she says, I think we went there around 10:30-ish. And then he says last night or this morning. And she says last night. And then I went to. So remember, according to Kennedy walked Dylan, Bethany, Lakeland probably, Yessie probably, and a couple other girls past the Whites along Taylor. Kennedy went back home, and they kept going straight. And I told you I was listening to Lana talk about this from her show last night, and she always has the brains on this. Remember, if they left Kennedy's, I don't know, she says around 2, but let's say it's at what if it is, at 2? Eric Gower dropped off Kaylee and Maddie at 1:56? 1:56. And then remember, there's an issue with him. He says when he left the house, he pulled off. Remember, he says, I pulled off to the side of the road. And he would have pulled off to the area of the road exactly where these girls were walking. So are they meeting up with him? Did they go with him? Did he give them a ride? Like what was going on there? And I forgot about that. I forgot about the Eric Gower pull off, right? So let's take a second and look at that real quick. So I'm going to go to my Google Earth again. We'll pull up the map and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And I apologize that, like, I mean, I hope you guys are hanging with me, like listening to these interviews again, going through them. But to me, that's how we really have to like go through it slowly to pick these things out. It's so crazy. Okay, so here's we're zooming into the neighborhood. Let me get that out of the way. Let me get that out of the way. Okay, zooming in. Get to... I still am confused, and I don't know how important it is. I guess it's important. I think that Kennedy... Well, here's what I think. I think this house over here, 427 Taylor Avenue, I think this is Allie Benson's because I know I read that address somewhere. Okay, Allie Benson's. I have not been able to figure out yet, does Allie Benson live with Kennedy Fitzgerald? I'm trying to figure that out. If they do, then I think this is the house. If they don't live together, then I think Kennedy lives right here at 619 Taylor Avenue. And I know this is what Lana keeps saying. She keeps saying this house, right? And I don't want to doubt her. I know she's got everything on this case. I only know that I did see that address somewhere, that 427 Taylor address. Also, when you listen to Bethany describe the house that they went to, she says that it's on a corner. And then she says, I don't know how to describe it right here. So she kind of says it's like on an intersection or like a corner. I don't know how to describe it. So to me, this matches that. However, this is the treehouse and 619 Taylor. So I don't know how this one comes into play for that night. So what I wanted to show you is, I'm just going to say from what I'm going on right now, the girls are coming out of this house. If they're at this house partying, they walk out onto the road and they walk down all the way down here. Please tell me you're seeing this. Okay. I had to check my tab. All the way down, and right here, this is the White's parking lot. And remember, the undercover cop cars are supposed to be hanging out in here. Like everybody cuts through here when they're walking around. Eric Gower has just left right here where the line is. And, you know, he's coming out right around this corner and like says he pulls over, I think somewhere in here. Right. And he says he's got to clean his car because of the macaroni in the back seat. And so the girls are coming from here and they're just, look at this, that little short walk. So did they meet up is what, you know, the question is. Another data point is that if Lakeland McComas is with this group of girls at around 2:00 in the morning, she's got to be back at her sorority, which is going this way. Over here, where's it at? Where'd I put it? I had it on here. Oh, it's way back here. Look at where Pi Beta Phi is, way back here. She's got to be back here in 15 minutes. Pi Beta Phi. Lakeland McComas. So would she even have time if this is true that it's around 2 a.m, would she have time to, be here at around 2 a.m, go to 1122, have popcorn, watch a little bit of Vampire Diaries, take a photo in the bathroom, take a photo of Dylan, and then get back to her sorority at 2:15? So the times have to be a little off. And Kennedy did say that. She did say, like, around 2. I'm not sure. Did anybody put, hey, Bubbly? It's Google Earth from this year. I think. I don't know. Hi, Mary. I see your question. The date that Kennedy was interviewed, I believe it was the 18th, November 18th. So, not just 5 days after. I think that's the right date, but it wasn't soon. It was days after. Okay, so we looked at that. Let's go back over here.
Too for a little bit, and then it was just me, like, who came home, and then later, okay, is she a girl? It's just very confusing, very, very frustrating that we don't have this. It seems like there's some really important information here. Okay, but I want to go back a little bit. So investigator said last night, or this morning, she says last night. And then I went to redacted, and then me and my friend redacted, and then redacted. We just all went to bed. Okay. So just a little preview. She says this again a couple times. So I think it's good to just kind of talk about these words, because we did hear these. We just all. Okay. There's a lot of interesting words here. We. Not just her, she's speaking for her and at least one other person. Just. So anytime we see just, we kind of flag that, and we want to analyze that, because just is a comparison word. We've all watched, police cams where, how many of you had to drink tonight? Oh, just 2, officer. Just 2. There's kind of something instinctively, intuitively, we question that. Versus, how many of you had to drink tonight? 2. It's simpler. Truth is amazing. Truth is it doesn't need reinforcement. Truth is solid as it is. Truth is solid on its own. And this is something that was just really fascinating me early on about statement analysis. It's not just about discovering deception, but also being able to hear a truthful statement. That's just as important. So we just all went to bed. I think about this with my kids. I walk into a scene with my kiddos, and I'm like, hey, what happened here? Well, I just touched it and it broke. You just touched it?
Oh my gosh, you guys, I just found something. Let me show you. All right. Oh, stupid StreamYard. One second. I'm pulling it up here. Oh, I picked the wrong thing. Oops. My gosh. There we go. It's coming. I've got something to share. I found information about the house. That we're talking about. We will get there. Okay. So this is the chart from the book. Okay. So right here at 12:17. Okay. So to me, I'm taking this as 17 minutes after midnight. Bethany sees Ethan and Xana in Peter's apartment before leaving. So Bethany's going to leave Sigma Chi, and she sees Ethan and Xana in Peter's apartment before she leaves. So then Bethany and Yessie walk to Allie's house on Taylor, where Allie, Jenna, Hayden, Kennedy, and Yessie were the only people at the house. So this is saying 12:17. Bethany's saying she's leaving. Kennedy says 11:30. So this would be more towards 12:30. So there's some contradiction there. And then, so if Kennedy is there, does Kennedy live here with Allie? Is she one of the roommates? Who else is a roommate to Kennedy and Allie if she's there? Is she visiting, or does she live there? So this is why I think they live together. Trying to narrow it down. And then here's the other one right here. 12:04, 4 minutes after midnight. Dylan sees Xana for the last time at Allie's. Now, see, here's another huge contradiction. Bethany is saying she's leaving after midnight, and she sees Xana and Ethan at Sigma Chi. Dylan is saying, I see Xana at Allie's, and she's holding a White Claw. So she's saying that White Claw photo is at Allie's. That's from Dylan's interview. These are Dylan's words. Kennedy says, Xana was never at my house. Xana was never at my house. This is crazy. Why is everybody hiding where Xana and Ethan were, you guys? Now, Hunter is texting Ethan and saying, are you guys still at Sigma Chi? And Ethan's going to text back and say, yep. So Ethan's putting himself at Sigma Chi. Ethan's putting himself at Sigma Chi. Dylan is putting Xana at Allie's house. But see, I thought maybe Xana really was there, because every time Xana goes to Allie's house earlier in the day. Xana goes to Allie's house. I will show you. Right here. And she's with Bethany. Bethany and Xana, when do they go? They go at 3:48 p.m. So everybody's at Kayla Wen's house in the afternoon, like around 4 o'clock, 3:30. Xana leaves with Bethany and goes to Allie Benson's house. And they're there for like about an hour, a little less than an hour. When she goes to Allie's house, that's when Ethan gets the text that you're getting cheated on. So I kept questioning, was something really, going on? I don't know. So then that's why I'm saying I think Xana really would be at Allie's house. But Bethany's saying no, she wasn't. Is Bethany covering for her? I don't know. I don't know. Is that totally unrelated? But what do you guys think? Because, and also I figured out the name. So right here, remember, or if you guys were here at the beginning for my live, I showed an Idaho State Police document where I was trying to locate the exact document for Kaylee McConkey, because I'm trying to FOIA that. While I was looking at that, there was a interview next to it, and both the girls FaceTimed Maddie that night. And the one didn't have a name, and I could not figure out who it is. Well, here it is right here. Maddie FaceTimed Ruby Simpson. So Ruby Simpson was at the bar in Boise, and also Kaylee McConkey was at the bar in Boise, and Maddie talked to both of them that night. Okay. Oh, here, I have to correct this. I did not know that there was a female Aiden. I forget the name because we were saying McConkey, and there were like two last names we were making fun of. All right, I hope I didn't completely confuse everybody. But we can put Kennedy and Allie at the same house. I'm trying to find that address. I know there's an address, 427 Taylor. 427 Taylor. Okay, let me see where, no, get off there. Did we hear everything we need to hear about Dylan? She says she got there around 10:30ish to Allie's. So that's where we were. Okay. And then she just went home and went to bed. Well, we looked at the Google Earth map where the girls were walking. We know that Eric Gower was in that interview. And now we are like left to question, what time did Dylan and Bethany actually get home? I was even thinking like they had a party at their house for Pi Beta Phi. It was their formal Pi Beta Phi Friday night. All of them were there. If those, I need to see if those photos are time stamped. Is the photo of Dylan passed out on the couch, is that time stamped? Because if it's not, that could be from Friday night. The popcorn could be from Friday night. I'm just saying. Because now we don't really know when they're getting home. I don't know why YouTube just keeps refreshing on me all the time.
My phone me. Did she look at her phone? Well, no, she didn't say I looked at my phone. That would have been simple. She added in a caveat. I look at my phone. Did she just scan over and just look at her phone real quick and just notice the time on it? Is she trying to support Again, is she preempting the investigator's question? How do you know? Is it 4 a.m.? Was it 4 a.m. because I looked at my phone? We don't know. I look at my phone. Now, look.
YouTube's letting me make this bigger. What is going on?
For the first time. For the first time, she's now going back in past and retelling it as if she was there. I look at my phone and I can hear. Okay, so she continues with present historical tense. We're going to pay really close attention to this and note if and when she leaves this historical present. I can hear Kaylee and Murphy dancing. So again, I look at my phone. I can hear Kaylee and Murphy dancing.
Okay, so done with that part, and I do not know what is going on. Sheesh. Okay, now we're going to go to Bethany's. Oh, actually, I cannot use this because you guys, I'll just show you. I left Travis a message. I was like, you left me on a giant cliffhanger. So he started the first part of Bethany's interview. And right when it's at the part to get to Kennedy's section, it's for part 2. And I was like, no, cliffhanger. But please go to his channel. I'm going to check how many subscribers he has right now. Something is going on with this page. He's at 1,000. That's amazing. He made it. All right. That's so important. That's so important. All right, let's check out Bethany now. Probably, let's see. Interview, just the first interview. We're just going to get the basics. Thank you all for being here. We're going to get this contradiction nailed down. If you see me looking down, I'm really trying to find that address. I'm trying to sort out this house. If it's the tree house or the other house. I don't know why I want to know that so bad, but I do.
First and foremost, if you could just take a deep breath for me. I understand this is stressful. Okay? All I want to do is try and get an idea of what you heard, what you saw, and any timeline, any information that you can give us so that we can try and figure out what happened, okay? So just take a deep breath for me. I know this isn't going to be easy. We'll kind of go from there, okay? Can I get your name? What's your first name? What's your middle initial?
Okay, you guys, I just found something else. So let me show you this real quick. I'm not even gonna, I will not put it on the document camera because that takes too long. So I'm going through the timeline in here. And do you remember what time Dylan texted Eric Gower? Do you guys remember what time? I'll ask the chat. What time Dylan texted Eric Gower? Are you driving tonight? Remember that? Hello, I heard everything. So Dylan texted Eric Gower at 2:10 in the morning, right? 2:10 in the morning. Yes, Arya Stark. I love that name. I have a great niece named Arya. I love it. I love that name. Yeah, around 2, and this timeline says 2:10, around there. So if Kennedy's timeline is more accurate, if this 2 a.m. around that timeline is more accurate, and the girls, and let's say, what if they left Kennedy's house after 2:10? Because she said around 2:10. I don't know. And Dylan maybe texts Eric Gower from Kennedy's house. Let's just throw the narrative out the window. Let's stop listening to what they have, instilled in our heads, because that's what they want us to think. Okay. And Dylan texts Eric Gower, "Are you driving?" And then Kennedy walks them. And who's down at the end of the road? Eric Gower. Eric Gower. They want us to think Dylan is in the house. Like, they want us to think Dylan and Bethany are already home. And that's when she texts Eric Gower. I'm just speculating out here. I'm probably way off. I'm probably way wrong, but I'm just connecting these things. If Dylan and Bethany and Lakeland and Yessie and everybody are walking down Taylor Avenue at some time around 2 a.m, and Eric Gower just dropped off Kaylee and Maddie, and Dylan had already texted, or maybe she sees him. Maybe she's out there on the road and she sees him. "Hey, are you driving?" I'm just putting out scenarios of how what we're seeing can fit together, what could have possibly really happened, right? Because the other thing, we can't forget about Xana and Ethan. And I'm just taking this from, this is supposed to be the official timeline from Moscow and ISP. At 2 a.m. So here's let's look at this 2 a.m. hour, right? 2 a.m. hour. You've got possibly a group of Pi Beta Phis out on the road, Taylor Avenue. You've got Eric Gower, the driver, out on the road. You've probably got the undercover cops in the parking lot, or they're driving around. This Jacqueline Beliveau, I don't know who she is. She leaves Sigma Chi, so she's probably going out onto the street to meet whoever's hanging out on Taylor Avenue. Apparently, Taylor Avenue is the place to be at around 2 a.m. That night. And she has a photo with Xana. So there should be a time-stamped 2 a.m. photo. Oh, and I can pull this up right now. It's an ISP document. And 2 a.m., she says, Ethan and Xana are at Sigma Chi. Ethan and Xana are at Sigma Chi at 2 a.m. Does everybody go back over to Sigma Chi at 2 a.m.? I don't know. I heard everything. What is a lie? What is a lie? Eating goldfish? Looking at your comments. Laura W., hello. Why is Bethany and Dylan taking pictures as if to show where they are? And Hunter asking, you still at Sigma Chi? Yes. Yes. I'm sure if you're just listening, if you're like me, it probably seems like I'm all over the place. It's only because one thing is leading to another. I will go back through this and kind of lay it all out written to make more sense of it for tomorrow. Okay, that's what I'll do for tomorrow. Dylan has a video though in Kaylee's bedroom, apparently. I heard that. We haven't seen it, and if it's time stamped, then we'll know. Yep. What time stamp would that be? That video that's in. Yeah, there's supposed to be a lot of photos and a video taken in Kaylee's bedroom. That's right. 2 a.m. is a dark hour. So you think the seeing, okay, so then we need to find out who this Jacqueline Beliveau is, because she says she sees them at Sigma Chi, and she has a photo. She has a photo, supposedly. Bethany has a photo on the bed with Murphy if it's time stamped at 2 a.m. Yes. So maybe the times are off. Maybe the times are off. Hello, Ellen. The party was over at 1 a.m. Yeah, supposedly it was. Yep. That brings the timeline to 1:43, not 2:53, an hour earlier. Exactly what the police report daily log says in the other report. There's 3 different reports for that night. Ooh. Yeah, maybe everything these girls are talking about is at 1 a.m. instead of, like, did they leave? See, this is why I have to put it on paper, because I have to like backtrack then. So like if they left Kennedy's at 1 a.m. because she wasn't sure, and then matching that up with everything else in this timeline. Hey, Paco Jewel. Thank you, Bubbly. It's not me that's all over the place. I'm just following their breadcrumbs. We don't think that Snapchat for Bethany and Murphy is from that time. Oh, it was a Snapchat? I thought Bethany was just taking like selfies on her phone, right? Oh, you sent me information, Bubbly? Thank you. I'm just reading your comments real quick. How he starts this interview is creepy. Very, he's treating her very like she's a 2-year-old. Yeah. I mean, I understand she's like upset, but. Oh, what 427 looks like? Let me look at that. Because remember yesterday there was a couple different options. Let's see. Oh, I think that's the one I showed yesterday. Bubbly. I agree. I think it's that one. Yep. I agree. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. You're saying 431, 430. Wait, let me look. Hold on, you guys. I'm trying to see what we got here. Oh, that's part of it. Gotcha. Yep. I do think that is the one that I saw yesterday. Good. Confirmation. All right. We're going to just listen to Bethany here. Let's see if we get any words out of this for what she says. Now, what does she say?
And your date of birth?
2003.
And you live there at 1122 King Road?
Yep.
What's the phone number for you? What state you're in,
Nevada.
Do you have your phone here with you? Okay. So what we're going to be doing is taking people's phones for a little while. And we're going to try and, so because I don't know if you called anyone or made any phone calls or anything like that. What we do in an investigation like this is we try and collect as much information as we can. Okay, anything that might be small, you may not think is important for us to find out what happened, but is very crucial. So taking something off your phone might be extremely useful for us, even if it's something that you don't realize, okay? And we'll try to get that phone back to you as fast as we can. Okay, is that okay with you? Okay, so this is your phone here?
Yeah, can I tell my mom?
That's fine. That's your mom real quick. Yep. And then what I'm going to need is your passcode from your phone, or here between the two of us, we can even turn off your passcode, okay?
How do you take them? Oh.
You can get out? Okay. And if it won't let you do it, that's fine. You can just read or tell me what your passcode
I
is.
just don't know my.
Okay, what is your passcode?
Redacted.
And what type of
Can I see my mom text me real quick?
Alright, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Okay. Any social media do you have, like Facebook or anything?
Redacted.
Do you have any other social media type
I
sites?
have.
I'm still trying to find this address. It's driving me crazy. What else did I just find? Something. Oh, Aiden McKinty. McKinty is the last name of Aiden the girl. Aiden the girl. Aiden McKinty was always at 1122. And she was Sophia Whitehead's roommate. There we go. Aiden McKinty and Sophia Whitehead. Put those names on your list.
Those the big ones?
Yeah.
Alright. So we're going to kind of go back and try and get a little bit of a timeline, okay? So what did you guys do last night? More specifically, if you were by yourself and not with that group, what is
Ethan was in the house, so was Anna.
So you were with
One of them is my roommates, and one of them is her boyfriend.
Okay. So you were with Ethan
And Xana.
Xana?
Mm-hmm.
Can you spell that for me?
Xany. Or ANA, sorry.
XANA.
NA.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just trying to. Sometimes it helps me put names together. So you were with Ethan and Xana last night. Right?
Yep.
And do you know Ethan's last name?
Chapin. I don't know how to spell it.
That's fine. And Xana's last name?
Kernedal.
Do you know how to spell it?
I think it's KernO. Maybe another ODLE or something like that.
Okay. Okay, so you're with them. What time did you guys get the second guy's house?
Around 8 something. Maybe 8:30.
So 8:30 p.m.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. And prior to that, were you guys just at your house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you left from your house.
Ethan was that formal because he went with his sister because she didn't have a date. And then we were just hanging out at our house. And then he came over and then we all walked over together.
Okay, so that was you.
Okay, so this is a confusing part too, because we've got Bethany saying, and I think she clarifies this though. So Bethany and Maddie are going to walk over together to the Sigma Chi party. And then she's going to say that Xana, Ethan, and Dylan come a little bit later. And there's like Maisie Chapin made it seem in her interview that like, she made it seem like they were done with the Hunga Dunga ball, the formal at like 8 p.m. But then the reports say that the SUV that the Chapins own, the Ford Explorer, doesn't park at 1122 until 9:30. So that data has to be correct, right? And then, so like, is there an hour and a half time? Where were they with that SUV? And then she's saying, I walked at 9:30 over to Sigma Chi with Maddie, and then Ethan and Xana came shortly after. So I just want to listen up to the part where she talks about Kennedy's house.
You, Ethan, Xana, was there another person with you? Or just the three of you
Maddie
walked over?
walked over with us.
Okay. And that's
Logan.
Logan?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Maddie?
Mm-hmm. Her real name is Madison, though, I believe.
Okay. So you guys all walked over to, you were there about 8:30. Okay. Were you guys all pretty much together or just kind of mingling throughout the house most of the night?
We were all pretty much together, and then Maddie left to go to the club with Kaylee. And then I was with Ethan and Xana most of the night, but then one of my friends came. Her name's Steve, and I hung out with her the rest of the night.
Okay. And who was that?
Her name's
Okay, so that's Yessie, and I hung out with her the rest of the night. So I had speculated that Yessie is most likely the person to be walking over to Allie Kennedy's house, Allie/Kennedy, the house, for this party. And so she's saying she was with her the whole night.
Can you spell it for me? Okay. And his last name?
I don't know how to pronounce it, and her full name is bigger than that.
Okay, that's fine. Do you have a phone number for her?
Yeah.
It's in your phone. Okay, we can get that in a minute. Okay, so you were with, and at that point, Ethan and Xana were just kind of hanging out still at the house? Okay.
And then I went to our other friend's house.
Okay. What time was that at?
I don't know, maybe like 12-ish. But that could be wrong.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
And where's that house?
It's just like up the street. I don't know that address.
Okay, up the street from.
Sigma Chi.
Okay.
Kind of.
So you guys are at Sigma Chi, so you're walking.
So what time does she say? Now she should have said 11:30, unless they redacted it. Oh, she said 12-ish.
What time is that at?
I don't know, maybe like 12-ish. But that could be wrong.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
All right, so that's close, 11:30, 12. I mean, I wouldn't have my times exactly correct with that either. So they're not contradicting these times of going over to that party.
And where's that house?
It's just like up the street. I don't know that address.
Okay, up the street from.
Sigma Chi,
Okay.
kind of.
So you guys are at Sigma Chi, so you're walking back towards.
We're walking back towards my house, and then we go this way.
So like when you got to Taylor Street, you went up. So if you walked all the way from Sigma News.
Or
Sigma Chi, sorry.
Yeah. You know the apartments, the whites.
Yep, I know the whites.
It's like that street, that way.
So on Taylor?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you know roughly where on Taylor? Or does she live maybe on one of the other off streets?
It's on Taylor, but it's like one of the end houses by the intersection. I don't know how to explain it.
So she said it's one of the end houses. And then this says by vendors. I don't know what I think I think she started to say like by the intersection or something like that. I also think if she mentions the White's parking lot, the tree house is like right next to that. So if it was the tree house, I think she would have just said, it's right there next to the Whites. Because basically it's the Whites, it's the tree house, and the Queen Road apartments are right behind the tree house. So those are all like right there. The other house is like down, like probably a block or two, block and a half. Down, and it is on like a rounded corner, and there's like a crosswalk there. There's a little even like island in the center. It's almost like an intersection that dead ends with a road coming off of it. Yeah.
All right. Okay. And whose house is it that you went to?
It's, and I don't know if they're ever roommate.
Okay, so now this is interesting because in the book, every time I read something about Bethany and Xana going to Allie's, they said Allie's. I believe she just said Kennedy's. And I don't know the other roommate. I went to Kennedy's and I don't know the other roommate. I don't know. I could be all wrong about this. I'm sure there's going to be other people that figure this out, but I'm thinking through it.
And okay. All right, so you're at this house. How long were you here?
Maybe like 40 minutes. Okay. And then I left by myself. And went back.
Contradiction. All right, I had to clear my throat. So she was there for 40 minutes. And then she left by herself and went back to my house. Red flag. Red flag. What is going on here? What is going on here?
Red flag. Red flag. Red flag. Red flag. Red flag. Red flag.
What is going on here? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Crazy. Red flag. Yeah, I hate when whenever their radio buzzes, I think like it's like they're flagging that comment, like, oh, like mark this spot, right? Mark this spot. Do I think the sorority girls turned into a rabid mob? I really don't. I think I don't understand why. Like I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt and like, okay, you're not going to know exact times, you're not going to say everything perfectly, you know, things like that. Everything doesn't need to be nefarious and there's adjustments for that. But some things are certain, like Bethany, I left alone. There can be a contradiction to that. Kennedy is saying, no, you didn't. You left with like 4 other people. There's some things in here that I think we're just being able to prove. Either we need evidence to support that what Bethany is saying is accurate, or we need evidence to show what Kennedy is saying is accurate. And hopefully the police have that. Hopefully. Yes, Stoner Podcast. Red flag. Red flag. I left by myself and went back to my house. So she wants to be by herself, getting out of there. I didn't hear if she said a time. I might have to back it up to listen for a time. Dylan wants to be with Lakeland going back to her house, and she wants to be in a car going back to her house.
So you walked home maybe around 1-ish?
Yeah.
Why is he telling her the time? Why is he telling her the time? So you walked, and he's even saying, I don't like these 40, 50-year-old men saying 1-ish, talking like a 20-year-old college girl. So you walked home around 1-ish. Let's see. The time could be true, but she wasn't alone. So this is putting a spotlight, in my opinion. We need to have a spotlight on these girls and Taylor Avenue around 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the morning. 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the morning. You know there's a camera somewhere on that road. There has to be a camera somewhere on that road.
Okay. What did you see when you got home?
He just skipped right to what'd you see when you got home? But maybe at that time, he doesn't realize the significance of all of that. But at some point, if someone in the investigation was truly, and this is a good question, like, how many of you think that there was a lead person? Or in my opinion, I would think with a case this huge and all these interviews they were doing, you would need like a team, like a core team to like take all the interviews that are coming in, and you'd probably need several teams. You would need like a team of people that are like reading the interviews and consolidating everything, all the information. And then, hey, here's some we need you to go back and interview this person, have a clarifying interview. And here's the things you need to clarify. How many of you think they did that? Does anybody think they did that? I don't think they did that. Kiss me. You were looking at pictures, and Bethany's gray cutoff Idaho sweater is on Xana's floor. Ooh. Yeah, and someone said Dylan had on Xana's shirt or something like that. I don't know. I heard a couple things with the clothing. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone who talks like Bethany doesn't alone. That does sound like a very codependent. I shouldn't say codependent because I'm not, saying anything bad about people with issues like that. For sure. I have my own issues over here. But yeah, kind of babyish, right? Baby voice. You're probably not doing anything alone. Yeah. Oh my goodness, you guys. Okay, so those were little clips, but I wanted to hear Dylan say what time she was going over to this party. I wanted to hear Bethany talk about the party and leaving, and then Kennedy. So, like I said, I'm going to listen and I'm going to write it out and add in all these other pieces. I am still trying to find, it's driving me crazy because I know I saw the address for Allie Benson. I'm like, I know I saw it, but I've been searching through this book and I don't see it. And I don't think it would be in a report. It wouldn't be in a police report because they're not putting addresses in there. So then I'm left with, where else would I have seen it at? I don't know where I would have seen that at, unless I need to check the digital version. The digital version of the book is a little bit, some of the information, like, I don't know if they like did a final edit on one version over the other. I'm not sure about that. Stoner Podcast, thank you so much. Have fun with your puppies. I'm going to go walk too. I've been trying to walk every day now that the weather is warm. Yep. So I'm going to clock out for today. If nothing else, I hope I raised some questions we need to look further into. More inconsistencies and that big spotlight around the 1 to 2 o'clock hour on Taylor Avenue. Like that seems like a focal point now. We've got a turn in this timeline, in my opinion. So based on what we're seeing. So thank you for joining me today, everybody. Welcome, unique peeps. And I did see, was that our wonderful Jen 7S. She donated another membership today. She's always so generous. I appreciate you, Jen. Whoever got that, welcome to the unique peeps. I'm sorry I didn't see it right at that time. I was doing a lot over here, going back between docs and videos and my video camera or my document camera, all that stuff. I hope it's contagious. Oh, hey, Lori, thank you. Yeah, have a great day. Get out in the sunshine if you can. Go do something nice for yourself. And I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching. Hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Subscribe. It's free and keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew now, right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Happy unique, yeah, that's you and me. Don't forget to like and hit subscribe. It's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear. Show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. It's free, it keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew, now right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife and proud to be a husband and a wife in podcast harmony. Yeah, that's you and me, that's you and me. Don't forget to like, hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear.